Yep, so let's go ahead and meet our players here
All right,
for round number 7, the
Let's
final round of Swiss at the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2024. First up, we have Kalist Uramovic from Australia, and hey Jerome, his favorite card is Goatee of the Deep Beyond.
Yeah, I love Goatee of the Deep Beyond. The Goatee are so cool.
I mean, some of the coolest looking cards for sure.
Yeah, art's fantastic. But of course, playing against him is Baptiste from France. Favorite card, Masked Hero Darklaw.
Ooh, also very cool.
That's a fan favorite for sure.
Well, speaking of evil cards, I'm just kidding. This isn't an evil hero. This is a masked hero.
He is sometimes used for evil, but sometimes used for good. I'll give him that.
That is it is a frustrating
hero.
card. It is a hero. You can't be hating on the masked hero Darklaw, but it has that banishing effect only for your opponents. Can be quite annoying, but also very useful. So you definitely know Baptiste has probably been a hero player at some point or another.
Gonna look like what decks they're on.
All around the world
This
here.
is round 7,
So
the
we've got
last
4
Swiss
wins and 2
round,
losses
and then we'll
versus
play top
3
8
wins,
next
2
round.
losses,
So
and a draw.
I'm very excited to see what's going on.
Probably skate
here.
by if he can come up with a draw in here, but Baptiste absolutely cannot, and he's going to be doing everything in his power to win this match.
Yeah, and you know all those players that already have 3 losses, they're going to be cheering hard against Baptiste here. That 2x21 record locks him in above the other players with 3 losses. We're kind of looking at how the points are adding up. The more X21s, the less chance an X3 is going to be able to make it. So Baptiste has a lot of people rooting against him. I'm sure a lot of people from France at home are rooting for him, maybe at their local OTS. I know we have that going around worldwide. We're able to watch from home. You've been able to, or not from home. I mean, you can watch from home, just like a lot of you probably are.
In fact, if you are.
But there's also the live look-ins. You can probably see them in the background we have. But the players are already shuffled up and ready to go. It's time to jump into it. We are going to finish the final round of Swiss here at the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2024 in Seattle, Washington. It's game number 1,
All right,
round
game number 1.
7.
Let's get into it.
The winner of this will be looking to make the top 8 cutoff.
That's 2 2s.
Let's give that another shot. That's not what we're looking for here.
Can someone get another die in here? It's been rolling low all day.
All right,
lot of
Face Smith,
ones.
Snake Eye versus Face Smith,
I know there's been a lot of
so
Snake Eyes in the room, but let's keep it to
let's see how this
cards.
goes.
Yes, and this is going to be an Australia versus France matchup.
Ooh, not a big a fan of Kalisa's hand here, but like it definitely works depending on how many interruptions are coming down from Baptiste.
All right, we made it to the main phase.
A few
No
things
mulch
checked
armies.
off. The Divine Temple comes down here. Let's see what he's going to place from his deck.
Oh, I know some players out there love the combo of Field Spell plus Snake Eye Oak. We're going to have to see if that's going to be something that's going to come from Kalist here. Let's see what he places in his Spell and Trap Card Zone. It's going to be Snake Eye's Diabell Star.
Yeah, there's an argument that Field Spell plus Snake Eye Oak may be better than just opening Snake Eye Ash.
I mean, it's a great way to get to Snake Eye Ash.
It is a 2-card combo.
But let's see if that is what he's going to do here. He's going to send the Diabell Star and the Oak and potentially access Snake Eye Ash.
Gotta confirm what cards were in the hand there real quick. I think those 3 cards are the ones that go back in the deck.
Yeah, they just kind of slipped over there.
Nobody saw them, though, so it should be no harm done.
All right, now let's see if he's going for that Snake Eye Ash. Why this is a little bit better than just starting with Snake Eye Ash. You're able to get to Flamebirch before 5 summons, but when that Flamebirch does go to the graveyard, you can bring back that Oak, and then the Oak can bring back another monster. So it's like Flamebirch turns into 3 monsters potentially, but while you're able to still play around the beginning part.
Popular Search.
Yeah, like potentially stronger output, but a lot riskier, right? There could be a lot more things that could happen to you coming from Baptiste's end.
True. But Poplar is going to the hand, then special summoning to the field, and then we're going to see original Sinful Spoils be added to the hand off that Snake Eyes Poplar.
Baptiste checks his cards there. A whole lot of green over on his side of the field.
And then he's going to link away Poplar
links
for
off into
Anima,
Relinquish
so
Anima.
Poplar can place that Snake Eyes Diabell Star in the Spell and Trap Card Zone.
You can see some of the nerves here for Kalist. He's slipping over his cards a little bit here, wants to be really careful, make sure he plays proper.
I mentioned this is a huge match.
Yeah,
for him.
absolutely. They're playing for everything here.
I mean, the winner of this is looking good for top 8. Baptiste is going to have a potential, tiebreaker situation if there's any other players that have 2 losses in 1 draw. But Kalist will be feeling really good when he wins this if he has at his chances of making top 8.
Going to be using that Ash's effect here, sending itself as well as the Snake Eye Oak. Going to be summoning out that Flamebirch.
Summons out Flamebirch.
Now that it's on the field, I imagine Khaleesi's going to take a look at his extra deck. Really considering his options before going into the moon in the closed heaven with the Anima as well as Snake Idea Bellstar.
Going into
That
the
moon will
now.
soon be transformed into the Requiem. Requiem's going to go through with his effect now.
Still no responses here from Baptiste.
I mean, there's been a few checkpoints up to this point as far as what you'd expect, but usually once you get to this segment of the combo, then you're looking for pairs, right? Because anything that hasn't been used now, you're going to attempt to use in pairs, otherwise it doesn't make sense to still have them.
Like the fruit, a pair?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, you mean like a couple. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But original symbols, it's been a long day, but original symbols spoils is going to send. That was so funny in my head. I'm sorry, I just couldn't stop myself. But original symbol spoils is going to send that Requiem to the graveyard, bring out a level 1 monster. Now they're going to be quickly linked away into Phoenix Smith's sequence.
Sequence going to be able to use its effect here, putting back the, well, maybe not the Engraver, yep, going for the moon as well as the Requiem.
Yeah, he's one step ahead of what he's looking for here. He's going to get that Engraver back just in a moment.
You have to wonder how many times he's done this today. Going to be
I would
adding the
guess
Engraver to the
6
hand.
times, so 6 times 2, 12 minimum, probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
They zoomed in.
What?
No, no, I don't think that's quite correct. This has not happened yet. Maybe
That's
predicting the
crazy.
future. Wait, is it Shiju working on the production company? I've already. Wait, did he concede? No. This game is still going, right?
Not a chance.
Okay.
Unless he got
I
a
don't
game
think Baptiste
loss.
is the
I
one
don't
winning that
think he
game.
did.
Yeah.
No.
Konami be
I
tripping,
have already
man.
foreseen it, Kaiba.
Yeah,
You would
I
never
don't-
tribute your Egyptian god card.
I don't even think he got a warning for knocking over the card, so we don't have a game loss situation here.
We might have just might be some technical difficulties, so we're going to be watching it from the shoulder and from the side here. Oh, you know, we haven't really talked much about this enormous screen that's behind him, but it looks beautiful. All right, we're back into the action. Appaloosa makes an appearance. Looks like he used the sequence. He used the sequence to summon the Lacrima. I assume the Lacrima brought back Engraver.
Yeah.
And then he linked those 4 away into Appaloosa. And then Appaloosa's on the field. He still has a Flame Bird. I'm assuming he's going to find another way to put another monster on the field.
I don't know
Because the
what
Appaloosa's there to
Konami is
protect
doing, but they messing up
his
bad.
field from things like Nibiru, the Primal Being. And then once Flamebirds goes to the graveyard, because that's the way you play around it, right? You will keep Flamebirds on the field as long as you can until you have that monster effect negation protection, like Appaloosa. And then he's going straight to the graveyard to bring back more bodies, more monsters onto the field. And that is what is happening. It looks like he
You
linked
predicted
summoned an IP Masquerena there, and now he's summoning back 2 monsters. One of them is probably Snake Eye Oak, and we talked about how he didn't have to use that effect yet. So Flamebirds, instead of bringing out 2, gives you 3 monsters, basically.
Yep,
So we haven't-
summon back the Poplar.
Yep, so we haven't... we haven't Appaloosa. Sorry, it going down on the side just killed me there for a second, my bad. But Appaloosa, IP Masquerena, plenty of monsters.
Break.
The IP is
Cracking
probably
up.
going to the graveyard for Link Summon for Promethean Princess, Bestower of the Flames. That's just going to look to bring back that Flamebird Dragons, which will use its effect to put the IP Masquerena in the spell and trap zone. So he's really, where he wants to be in this matchup.
The only
Baptiste
thing-
has not won a game yet. Do not to just ignore what is on the screen right now. This is still game number 1 of round 7. And Baptiste, he's cool, calm. It's not great, going second in a must-win game and you don't have any of those hand interactions. You just kind of have to watch your opponent play there. All right, here we are back into it. Okay, well, the next step after the Flamebirds puts the IP would be to go into Nightmare Phoenix to protect that Appaloosa from battle.
Yeah. Yeah, we see that the Princess has hit the graveyard as well. The only thing I was looking for is if you did end up using the Fiendsmith Engraver to add track to your hand, maybe you wanted to find a way to put Desiree on the field.
While they're randomizing the deck, we have a couple results coming in. Table 6, Ruben has won game number 1.
Very good, very good.
Table 1, Jose has won game number 1.
Ooh. Yeah, funny note there about Ruben. He's played at least 3 rounds against other players from North America this tournament. But it looks like Baptiste is going to start with Wanted Seeker, the Sensible Spoils.
They're searching out Deal
I mean, this is what happens when you don't have any points of interaction from the hand. That usually means you have all engine. Sometimes that's enough to push through.
Wanted, we haven't seen a lot of it today. I mean, it is limited to 1, so it makes a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
But Divine Temple of the Snake Eye coming down here.
This does help play through things a little bit.
You still got to worry about that Appaloosa. Didn't have an infinite impermanence or anything like that to shut it off before the turn started. I mean, this isn't a lot. I mean, Appaloosa plus Flamebridge into IP it represents a decent amount of interruptions. There's also the Princess in the graveyard. We luckily get to see it there on the top of the graveyard.
I think this is an interesting point, though, because now that the both temples are on the field, if Baptiste summons a monster here, Khalees can use his own temple to summon the Ash from his opponent's side. And then after that, there's nothing else on the spell and trap zones except for the IP, which Flamebridge can use. So we're making sure to clear it away with the Diabell Star here, which makes a lot of sense. All right, opting to just use the effect of the temple here to put the IP onto the field, and then Veiloring the Diabell Star as well.
It's always tough when you have that established board and you're like, okay, I might be able to play this, and then they have more of those hand interactions from the hand that you aren't readily know about. But he has Crossout Designator.
All right. Here we go.
Platinum Rare out of Rarity Collection 2 looks beautiful, and that's another card we haven't seen a lot of today. Not that everyone isn't using it, it's just at one during this tournament, since we do have that combined Forbidden Limited list with the OCG and TCG.
Now that IP Masquerena is vulnerable to being attacked over, even though the Appaloosa is not, because we didn't opt to use the Appaloosa here prior. IP is going to potentially link away with the Flamebridge here. It looks like we're going into Little Knight. Yep, we're going to be using the IP Masquerena as well as the Flamebridge. Placing the IP co-linked to the Nightmare Phoenix.
It's going to be protected by battle as well. SP Little Knight's going after the original Sinful Spoils, banishing that away.
Interesting choice with Wanted in the graveyard. Baptiste will be able to use the Wanted to get an additional draw here.
And be able to potentially search it out again with something like Snake Eyes Poplar. A full board of monsters here for Khalees.
This is a tough one, but because he didn't have all of those cards in hand to fight against building it, it's got to be ways to help him get through it.
Certainly is the case. And I mean, this Wanted, putting back the original Sinful Spoils, it's tough. You couldn't really go after the Diabell Star there with the SP Little Knight because he still has the Divine Temple he could send with the original Sinful Spoils. So maybe he's just hoping that even though he's giving him one more draw, he's not going to have a way to access something like Poplar. Because the one Snake Eye Ash is gone, he's going to need something like Bonfire to be able to go into that line.
And he still has all the uses of that Appaloosa as well.
And it was made with, what, 3?
Through
Link 2 and 2 other monsters?
Yep.
Most likely.
He used the Fiendsmith package to do it, I think. And it also is protected by battle, which is huge. But now the chain of the Bestial to the activation of Appaloosa is going to let him get another monster onto the field. But he's going to use SP Little Knight targeting his Oak and Baptiste Oak.
Just get it off the field so I can't use its effect to summon another monster from the deck.
So that is a Druid Swarm.
All right, Princess is going to target Poplar and the Black Witch. And that's all Baptiste needs to see. He's not going to be able to play through this board, and he's going to concede game number 1. And
All right,
Khalees
so game number 1
is now
goes
one
to Khalees.
game win away from being our first player.
Played that
Our
pretty
first
good.
player out of that
Can't
is X2 to
Can't
have a
complain
good
about
shot
that.
at making that top 8 if he can win one more. But, you know, don't count France out just quite yet.
The
That is
Appaloosa put in
Appaloosa
work
Bow,
and
the
that
goddess.
SP
It is a
put in
wonderful
work.
card.
Pretty
I'm
good.
going to miss you, Appaloosa. You are beautiful. Or I guess, sorry, I'm going to miss your bow. Right? Well,
Yeah,
Appaloosa
yeah.
is the
It's
bow.
the bow of the goddess.
We haven't met the goddess yet. We haven't met the bear of the goddess yet. We've met the bow of the goddess.
So it's just, it's just the weapon that's not allowed.
But yeah, big congratulations to Khalees for his game 1 win. You know, Australia, the Oceania is a really interesting territory. They have a lot of great players who always get to come to the World Championship. I know at the World Championship I played in, I got to play against an Australian player, and it was one of my favorite matches because it was so friendly and it was so nice. It was really great to see him here, and I'd love to see Australia walk away with the World Championship under its belt.
I know they have won Duel Links in the past.
Indeed, they
Have
have.
they never won the TCG before? Maybe I'm thinking of Duel Links as well.
I don't know. I know Bowden got close, and
He
well,
got second in
that's second.
2018.
yeah. But I know Khalees is probably focused on it. Looks very focused. Knows how close it is to him. Baptiste doesn't want to be eliminated quite just yet. He is side decked and ready to go.
Not a whole ton you can pick up from that last game. That one was just pretty rough having to sit there and watch your opponent play out their entire combo.
Yeah, the Snake Eye Fiendsmith deck typically plays a lot of those interactions in the hand. You want to be able to disrupt your opponent on their first turn before you get to play on your own turn. You're not really built to play into the field entirely because the field is so strong when you expect to play against the mirror match. And it was just really unlucky that he happened to see none of the cards that he plays.
When you say a lot, it's a lot, like 15 to 18.
Yeah, above average in past decks.
Now, Khalees wants to be very careful here. He doesn't want to take too long side decking. As you can see, Baptiste's been ready for quite some time. You don't want to take any sort of slow play penalties this late into the game.
Yes. For what it's worth, Baptiste's going first, right? He doesn't have to change that much.
True, very true.
And it is no more than 3 minutes of rules for side decking. No more than 3 minutes. And you're supposed to be shuffled and presented at that time, but most of the time they'll let you slide, you know, if you're just finishing up shuffling when the 3 minutes hits.
I mean,
it looks like he lost track of the card he was looking for there for a second. Kind of heard him saying, like, I lost the card I was looking for.
He is stressed, but, you know, he has to get himself calm. You only have to win one more game here to potentially move on into the top 8.
We've got a couple other results here from the top tables. At table 3, Yugioh has won game number 1.
Oh, that's a good bounce back from the round he just lost there. He definitely wants to see win here this round to get into that top 8 potentially.
And the other one is, in fact, the update from the match we're watching right now. But I think we all know who won the game number 1 here.
It was a bit confusing at first, yeah.
Somehow the beginning of that match.
Konami finally got it right. Khalees in game 1.
Khalees was the victor for game
so
number 1.
they are side decking right now.
And Baptiste,
we will get into game
I can never
2
tell. I can't get really a read on these players. I feel like players used to have a lot more of expressions on their face, but they came in here ready and prepared, not giving away any emotions. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. It's game 2 of the 7th round of Swiss here in Seattle, Washington at the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2024.
Game 2 starting. Let's get into it.
All right, let's see if there's a Mulcharming Perilia or anything crazy here from Khalees before Baptiste can do his first action, and it doesn't look like he's going to activate anything quite just yet.
A Dio Ballstar giving up a Nibiru, the Primal Being here.
That's tough. Even when I open up a Nibiru going first, I want to do everything I can to try and keep it in my hand, just kind of as that fallback plan, just in case something goes wrong.
And then we're normal summoning the Poplar as well. Trying to eat up some interruptions from Khalees here, bait things out. Gonna add the Divine Temple. Divine Temple is going to be activated, going to place something from the deck to the Spell and Trap Zone.
Small reads you can kind of get from this play here, because if he had another starter or something that can normal summon, you would definitely discard the Poplar with the Diabell Star to place it in the Spell and Trap card zone potentially. But those are like the little things you need to pick up as you're playing. But yeah, the Divine Temple is going to place the Snake Eyes Diabell Star in the Spell and Trap Zone.
And now I imagine he's trying to keep the Snake Eye part of his strategy in the back. Try to get as many responses from Khalees as he can. That's why we're going into the Moon of the Closed Heaven, start accessing that Fiendsmith engine, and set up some protection before we commit any further. Gonna go into the Requiem, immediately use Requiem's effect. Get the Engraver on the field.
All right, Snake Eyes Elbow is just going to be able to special summon itself from the Spell and Trap Zone by placing a fire monster from the graveyard in the Spell and Trap Zone. More Link summoning action coming down. Fiendsmith sequence is next.
Sequence is activating its effect now. Going to be able to shuffle back the Requiem and the Closed Goddess, or Closed Heaven. Yep, Lacrima targeted the Engraver, and there was a chain of Baldrake going after the same Engraver. Tactics is activated, going to look at Khalees' hand, and that is a powerful one. Lots of starters.
Wow. Take that, Talents.
Instantly goes for triple tactics talent.
I like that a lot, actually, taking their talents away.
Yeah, taking away any tools he really has to pick apart the board outside of any of those hard once per turn effects that are natural to the combo. And now he knows that he's free to go. There are no more disruptions in Khalees' hand, so he can play freely.
Another player we're keeping our eye on, Shinichi, the rescue ace
the opponent's
duelist,
hand to look at it.
has tied things up on table number 8. It's 1-1.
You definitely don't want your opponent to resolve a talent on you, so Being able to resolve your talents and get rid of your opponent's talents is pretty
Poplar
big.
uses
so
its effect on the field now,
pretty
and
cool.
as well as in the graveyard to place itself in the spell and trap zone.
Ash is going to resolve successfully here. Well, everything's going to resolve successfully. We've seen Calist's hand.
Yep, no surprises anymore.
Where is Baptiste going to go next with this? Got a few options.
He is free to go, but he still has to make sure he makes no missteps. Sometimes when you get a little overconfident after resolving a tactics like that, you know there's nothing stopping you. You can get a little ahead of yourself. So make sure he collects himself here, plays through his plays, not necessarily slowly, but just giving some caution to him. Okay,
SP Little Knight's going to go after Bestial Baldrake.
Can't attack directly this turn anyway, so or at all, so it doesn't matter that you give up that ability with Little Knight.
he knows his opponent's hand is Diabellstar, Bonfire, as well as, was it Poplar?
I don't think it was Temple.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was Temple, yes.
Divine Temple of the Snake Eye. Promethean Princess is going to bring back that Snake Eyes Flamebird's Dragon to the field.
Now, this is where some people have been bringing out the Desiree to negate the Princess, but here we're actually going to get the Link 4 monster,
Well,
or Link 2 monster, rather.
Yep, just going into, maybe doesn't play or wants to waste like something like Nightmare Phoenix, going into Hida here. Not usually where you want to see it in the main monster zone, but I don't think it'll be there for very long.
just going into Appaloosa here. Some of these duelists not that
Going
big a
into
fan of
Apple.
Desiree. I mean, he did lose the Engraver from the Baldrake, so it must be a lot more difficult to do so.
It's a little tough. And he's going to end here on a 3-shot Appaloosa, along with Divine Temple. Little Knight is a spell card right now, and Flamberge Dragon's still here.
You hit your extra deck. Oh no, that's a card.
Still having the card in hand to back up the field here. He did give up the Nibiru, so at the minimum, this card is stronger than that. Or, you know, so Baptiste thinks so.
Probably better for having with a full field, or a field.
Going to be using the effect of Flamberge in the standby phase.
And there she is again in the card highlight, Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess.
Baptiste now knows that Khalees plays the tactics, but now he knows that he drew the infinite impermanence. So the rest of
Huge draw.
yeah,
That's a big
that was a
one.
very, very good draw.
Yeah, Emperor and crazy.
He used it on the Flamberge, yeah?
He
But
used it on the Flamberge, yes.
So he still has the Divine Temple.
He used it on the Flamebird's.
Okay, so now there's still the Bonfire as well as the Diabellstar.
And that also means that the Appaloosa keeps all of the attack points.
Exactly. There's a lot of threats remaining here, so now he can do some chain blocking. Yeah, so because of this, you're not super concerned with using Appaloosa here. You're not going to use it to attempt to stop the Poplar, but you can use your Divine Temple now.
I don't know. How many? What is this Appaloosa at? 2,400, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you just use it here because he's threatened with the battle phase. So you might as well stop the Poplar from getting a little bit of extra value potentially.
I was more so concerned with if you use the Appaloosa, then you don't get to use the Divine Temple.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. But it does look like he ended up using the Appaloosa. Yeah, but you have to go to battle phase here, I think.
Yeah, you're not going to allow the Appaloosa to get any more value.
Because we know the last card in his hand is Bonfire.
Mm-hmm. Which is a good one.
It is a good one, and Appaloosa is going to go down here. So now all Baptiste has is Divine Temple. Summon out SP Little Knight at some point during this turn.
Which isn't bad. There's still that mystery card in the hand, which again, at least has to know as well, that card is at least as good as Nibiru the Primal Being. There's
I see
going
what
to
you're
be-
saying, because he discarded Nibiru, the Primal being
Or the Diabell Star.
as opposed to this card, so he knows
Mm-hmm.
that it has to be something on that same level.
Mhm.
Could be a read that you would think it is a second copy of Nibiru. That is heads up play and things you got to think about when you're playing in a high level tournament like this.
It is Effect Veiler.
There it is. As you said, something of that same level. So he gets the SP Little Knight. He negates the Ash. But Original's going to send Ash. I think Khalees might be okay here.
This is probably fine. He can just go for Snake Eye Oak here. That can at least bring back the Snake Eye Ash, and then Little Knight can only get rid of one of them, so you have access to Flame Burge.
Yeah, you definitely go after that Oak. Yeah.
And it appears that table 1, Yugioh has tied it up. It is now 1-1.
Oh, there's still Princess in the grave. I forgot about her. That'll do it. That'll do it.
Indeed, it doesn't look like Khalees is going to have any other options here in this game, so he will probably concede here very soon.
Yeah, that was a mapped out turn from Baptiste here. He knew what interruptions he needed to do. He had a full understanding of Khalees' hand, especially after the Infinite Permanence was used. There was no more mystery to it. Had perfect knowledge.
Khalees going to check the graveyard once again. There are no answers in there. I'm wondering what he's thinking about. He does have the Oak coming back from SP Little Knight, I guess.
I don't know if coming back from the SP Little Knight will be enough. He gets a Little Knight.
I'm just trying to think what is the thought process there,
Attack or defense?
It comes back in the position it was in.
which was attack mode.
Yeah, I don't remember. Do you remember?
Oh, this is a big update we just got, and that is at table 6, Ruben wins game 2 and the match over Mike Thomas. So Ruben is going to be really cheering hard for Khalees. Even though he did finish with 3 losses, he started off 3-0, which, you know, could be favorable for his tiebreakers. If any 3-loss player might make it in, it could be Ruben.
And what was Mike Thomas's record at that point? Was he
I think the
2-1?
Same. No, I
X
think.
2-1.
Oh, he was.
2-1, yeah.
X 2-1.
Oh, brutal.
Which is great for him because that eliminates one of the 2-1s.
It was great for Ruben.
Yeah.
Horrible for Mike Thomas, but unfortunate.
Yeah,
Yep.
Goes to
Main
shows.
phase. Gonna link way for Nightmare Phoenix.
Target Big Poplar.
Big Poplar.
All right, Prince is gonna bring back Flamebirds. Sounds like something's going crazy on a Duel Links just mere feet away from us.
This feels like it should be enough, right?
Oh, it's
Maybe
been
just
enough.
push,
Yeah.
push back the Bell Star and we're good.
It was enough last turn.
This
but
is,
like,
yeah, this is over 8,000 easily.
just to go through the motions. Yeah,
Yeah,
now
I
we
mean,
can just enter battle phase.
I can see Khalees not conceding just in case he forgets that Eyeball Star can summon itself back and he doesn't use Flamebirds, but
Yep, at least we'll be moving on into game number 3 here.
All right, game number 3 starting.
20 minutes on the clock.
Khalees will be going
Khalees
first.
did go
Let's
first
see
in
how
game
this
number 1,
plays
was
out.
able to take it pretty handily, but Batiste didn't have any of those interactions from hand, really. But now that they're diving into their side decks again, there's going to be more opportunity for him to put in cards that he's going to need going second and take out those cards that are in his deck for only when he goes first, potentially.
And still about 19 minutes left on the clock here. As long as the side decking is done in a reasonable manner, they'll still have about 15 minutes left, which is about how much you should have per game.
Indeed it is. I mean, this is the most, I'm just going to guess and assume that this is the most important game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That either of these players have yet to play going into this tournament.
And I would imagine
So Khalees
this
is
is the
going
matchup
first,
they're
so I
most prepared
think
for,
he
right?
would
They
have
know
the
what they should be
advantage,
doing,
but depending
going
on
first,
how
going second.
Baptiste
This
opens
siding
up,
should be fairly quick.
might
I
can
mean,
stop him,
understand the
so we'll
pressure is
see.
there, but this is something they've done thousands of times up to this point.
And there we go. Now he gets his game 2 winner picture. Baptiste Derouin. I'm trying. I took French in high school. Still not very good at it, though. I can say Je m'appelle Billy, but that's about it.
Deron.
Deron. Oh, so I was close, yeah. I was trying to, my accent is not great. Every time I've ever tried to speak to someone like that speaks French, or fluently, they're always like, "Oh, it's okay, I speak English." I'm trying. I try my best. That's all you can ever really do. But Khalees has a whole continent on his shoulders right now. Australia cheering for Khalees.
And Fox.
And Fox, you know, both of the players out of Australia doing really well here in this tournament. I mean, rough start for Fox, but bounced back, winning a bunch of rounds after.
If they both win, they both likely make top 8.
That would be wild. No smiles here, just stoic and focused.
Pure stress.
Pure stress. I guess that's another way to look at it. Sure. It is stressful. Playing your favorite game shouldn't be stressful. You should just be having a good time.
I mean, if you're stressed, that means you care. That's a good thing.
True.
Still no results from Fox's match. However, on table 3, Giancarlo has taken game 2 and tied things up at 1.
Good to know.
Really are so many exciting duels happening right now. So many players playing, putting their competitive lives on the line here.
And then we get to see a look in at the other players playing for round number 7. All trying to make it into the top 8 so they can play the first round tonight, and then we'll be back for top 4 tomorrow, where we'll eventually crown a world champion for all the respective games.
Hopefully they have like 15
More ways to
minutes
play
left.
Yu-Gi-Oh than ever, and they're all here at the World Championship this year. Rush Duel's first time for Duel Links Rush Duel.
Looks
So
like
it
the
looks
players
like
are
the
getting
final
ready
choices
here.
have been made. Game 3 is coming up next. You can see they can't wait to get started. Here we go.
The last game
All
3
right,
of the
game 3, let's
Swiss
get it
portion
started.
of the tournament is here.
Plenty of time left for this game. Oh, Baptiste has the Molcharmi.
One of the fastest Perlias I've seen dropped out of the hand, so now he's going to be drawing some cards potentially.
I do see a potential response here from Khalees. Well, not really a response, but
A way to capitalize on
Yeah.
it. Potentially, yeah. But Engraver is going to be discarded from Khaleesian.
Graver's a really strong way to get through Perulia here, put up a lot of bodies on the field without having to actually summon them from the hand.
Attract. Resolution.
Nothing at resolution here. Free from Drone Lockbird, activating track now.
And it looks like Yugioh has defeated Jose at table number 1.
Ooh, that puts Jose at X2-1, right?
Believe it does.
Yep, here comes Requiem. How long is he going to be able to go without giving any cards to Baptiste? I mean, I love cards like Molcharmi Perelia. Like, it gives you advantage, but it also at the same time your opponent can adapt their play if they so choose to give you less cards. It's a lot of strategy involved. And Requiem is going to equip itself from the graveyard to Engraver and then be sent right back to the graveyard with original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye.
This is a really powerful use of original here. Not having to use the Diabell Star means you give one less card from the Molcharmi. You're able to potentially summon Snake Eye Ash here, and then if you are choosing to get Poplar, we're just going to forgo the Ash entirely and go straight from Poplar, so potentially giving 0 cards to Baptiste. Snake Eye Diabell Star hits
Big
the table.
Poplar, as
Big
Baptiste
Poplar.
likes to call it.
Ooh, and another big one here at table 4. Yugioh wins game 2 and finishes the match 2-0.
Yugioh, let's go.
The
I
Fire
hope he
Kings.
makes it into the top 8. I'd love to see some Fire Kings in the top 8 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship. And also, I just loved his energy on stage. He looked really excited to be there. I can't wait to see him if he makes it into the top 8. All right. Ooh,
we
Infinite
got the
Impermanence
Imperm.
on that Fiendsmith sequence. Now Khalees might be in a little bit of trouble. He still has Engraver effect in the graveyard. So Snake Eyes Diabell Star is going to put Poplar in the spell and trap card zone as it summons itself.
Baptiste has to be happy here. No shortage of those points of interaction this time around.
Affect the gain counters. Affect the lose counters.
Celine now being able to use its effect, summon back a spellcaster from the graveyard after removing 3 counters. Likely.
I have to say, Celine on Master Duel is a little more annoying than it is in real life. You have to click
Selecting all
each
the counters.
counter that you place on it. But yeah, 3 counters gained, 3 counters lost. Appaloosa comes down, and we just have an Appaloosa. And there's the card you saw, Triple Tactics Thrust. since there was a monster
see what
effect
the thrust
activated this
search
turn,
at.
he's going to be able to set a spell or trap from the deck. Probably
Does have to be a normal one.
A normal
Different
one.
dimension
DDG.
ground.
Not, I was going to say
Crazy.
probably infinite impermanence, but it's DDG.
No, that seems a little better in this particular case.
Giving Baptiste 0 cards off the Molcharmi, forcing him to use the infinite impermanence. So he's only having a 3-card hand. He's going to draw to 4 cards, having to face down infinite impermanence, Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess, as well as the different dimension ground, as well as the temple.
For the end phase.
Incredible. That's what I like about Perilia, is like it can be devastating, but it does offer you a chance to play around it if you so choose. And that just feels rewarding when you can do something like that.
The only thing is the original is in the graveyard now with, I believe, I don't know how many Snake Eyes are in there at this point.
Damn
To
my
capitalize
face.
with.
Here comes different dimension ground.
Using it instantly. Let's see how Baptiste counters this.
Now, any monster sent to the graveyard is going to be banished instead.
Yeah, a little bit of reprieve for your spell and traps, but it's still tough for the Snake Eye deck, as a lot of their cards have to pay a cost to go to the graveyard in order to continue their plays. Did he just pass?
He might have just passed back.
Okay. Good to draw.
He just passes.
But we're going back to Khalees's turn here.
Baptiste looks like he really needed those draws from the Perilia, or maybe just having to wait out the different dimension ground.
We're entering the main phase, checking the graveyard here, attempting probably looking for that original Sinful Spoil. Yep. We're gonna have to probably put back one of those Snake Eye monsters and then get access. Oh, we have Engraver as well. You know how we talk about Snake Eye Fiendsmith having so much follow-up in their graveyard. We're backed up with the Appaloosa as well, already insulated from any effects from Baptiste's hand.
Wait, what was that? Like ID Bellstar?
Original going to attempt to put back the Snake Eye Diabell Star to the bottom of the deck and then add a Snake Eye from the deck to the hand. Now we're going to be adding that Snake Eye Ash. Realistically, you're going back in that deck. No need to shuffle it that much, but other way around.
Oh, sorry.
It is the big poplar.
Yeah, the original also does end up on the bottom of the
Yeah.
deck sometimes, but not by its own effect. It's usually by wanted.
Mhm.
And here comes Snake Eye Ash.
This match
Going
looks
to
like
be able
it's
to grab
over.
that poplar now, able to special summon it as well.
No Perilia now.
Is this enough damage represented? Not just yet.
18.
Well,
Because don't forget about
Nope,
the
not yet.
boost from...
The Divine Temple, yep. That accounts for an extra 2,200 points of damage to the 2 Snake Eye monsters.
using Magician's Souls to send the Snake Eye
Okay,
Diabell
cool.
Star.
We get to see the cool cards that's in his deck. I haven't been able to talk about it, but he is packing Magician's Souls in his Fiendsmith Snake Eye deck. Really cool to see here. Going to be able to send one of those
Magician's
spellcasters,
Souls
and
and
it looks
Snake
like
Eye. That's
he
pretty.
put the Snake Eye's
pretty
Diabell Star back
interesting.
just to put it right back into the graveyard here.
All right, Snake Eye Ash is going to use its effect, sending itself as well as the Poplar in the Spell and Trap Zone to special summon out the Flamebridge.
And Poplar's going to put Diabell Star back into the Spell and Trap Zone, ready to move forward into the main monster zone.
I don't think there's really a need to use the effect here. It's a lot more damage, but you already have the damage represented. Maybe just play around some pairs in the opponent's hand and
Does
just
he?
go into the battle phase now.
Oh, he might have the damage now with the Requiem. I think he was a little short. Yep. He's going to do the math. Baptiste wants to make sure it is the end for him. And yep, he
That is
realizes
enough.
the math, and that's it. Khalees is going to win and move on with 2 losses, 5 wins, and
All right.
really in
That
prime
is round
position
number 7.
to make
Khalees
top 8.
won
And you know
with
those
Fiend
other
Smith
players
Snake
that are
Eye.
watching
Like,
here
comment,
competing
subscribe.
at the
This is
World
by Igran
Championship
Yugioh.
with
We
3
are on the
losses
road
are
to 1,000
really happy to
subscribers.
see
Live
Khalees win.
streams every Saturday.
Should
Make
be-
sure you share the videos with your friends.
Should be a really
This is the
exciting
Yu-Gi-Oh! World
top 8
Championship
announcement
2024
once all the
TCG.
matches and
We are going to
results
the
are
top
in.
cut
This
the next
is,
round,
of
and
course,
we will
still
be streaming.
ongoing.
Like, comment,
But
subscribe,
for
share the
now, we
videos.
have
We are out.
our